We'll talk about the main news of the weekend next on Freedom. This is our time. My name is Mikhail Baranov. Hello. The president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, has arrived in Brussels and has already held a bilateral meeting with the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. At this very moment, together with other European leaders, they are holding a meeting of the coalition of the Resolute in a video conference format. The main topic of discussion is the visit of Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders to the United States. Tomorrow, a meeting between the president of Ukraine and the head of the White House is scheduled. Also heading to the talks are UK Prime Minister Starmer, German Chancellor Merkel, French President Macron, European Commission President von der Leyen, as well as Italian Prime Minister Meloni and Finnish President Stubb. NATO Secretary General Rutte may also come to Washington. President Zelensky and European leaders are going to the US to discuss peace in Ukraine with Trump. This was stated by German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, who emphasized that at the White House meeting, European leaders also intend to raise the issue of maintaining sanctions pressure on Russia.
Tomorrow I will travel to Washington together with Ukrainian President Zelensky, as well as the heads of other European states and governments. We will exchange views with U.S. President Trump on the progress of peace talks, security guarantees, territorial issues, and further support for Ukraine. Friedrich Merz, Chancellor of Germany, on social network X.
The coalition meeting is led by German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and French President Emmanuel Macron, who stated the need to continue supporting Kyiv and to increase pressure on Moscow.
Any lasting peace must be accompanied by unwavering security guarantees. In this regard, I welcome the willingness of the United States to contribute. We will work on this together with them and with all our partners in the coalition of the willing, with whom we will meet again soon to achieve concrete results. It will also be important to learn all the lessons from the past 30 years, especially from Russia's established pattern of not fulfilling its obligations. France remains firmly on the side of Ukraine. Emmanuel Macron, President of France, on social network X.
We'll talk a bit later with our guest about how Europe is preparing for President Zelensky's visit to Washington. But for now, let's move on to other important news from the end of the week. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine noted the successes of Ukraine's defense forces in several directions. In particular, in the east of the country, Ukrainian troops liberated 6 settlements, destroying a large amount of military equipment and personnel belonging to the Russian occupiers.
As a result of joint actions by units and subdivisions of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the National Guard of Ukraine, which are part of the First Corps of the NGU Azov, the following settlements in Donetsk region have been cleared: Frusk, Rubizn, Novovodyan, Petrovka, Vasil, and Zolodyi Kolodets. Overall, as a result of active operations in the Corps' operational zone, the enemy has suffered significant losses in personnel and equipment. From a report by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on Telegram.
In the past 24 hours, there have been 148 combat engagements on the front. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the Pokrovsk direction remains the most active. There, Russian invaders unsuccessfully tried to break through the Ukrainian defenses 51 times. On the Lyman sector, 32 enemy attacks were repelled, on the Novopublika sector, 26, and on the Kupiansk sector, 17. 7 more assaults were repelled in the southern Slobozansk direction, 5 in the Toretsk sector, 3 each in the northern Slobozansk and Kursk sectors of the front, and 2 in the Siversk sector.
Our airborne troops, air assault groups, and the Azov Corps managed to neutralize these positions and cleared several directions, including Dobrapilya, the outskirts of Pokrovsk itself, and a number of villages, returning them to our direct, physical, or fire control. That's why the enemy is still trying to strike there, break through, and control the Dobrapilya-Koshchenivka routes with their firepower. But there is no longer any operational control. And first and foremost, we're saying that the enemy's strategic offensive operation here has failed.
900 Russian occupiers were eliminated by Ukraine's defense forces over the past day. In total, since the start of the full-scale invasion, the Russian army has lost about 1,070,000 soldiers. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, yesterday Ukrainian defenders also destroyed 4 tanks, 8 armored fighting vehicles, 49 artillery systems, 1 multiple rocket launcher, and 1 air defense system. In Russia's Voronezh region, on Sunday night, the infrastructure of the Kiev railway station was hit. The operation was carried out by units of the main Directorate of Ukrainian Intelligence together with the State Border Guard Service and other defense forces. As a source in the main intelligence directorate told Freedom TV channel, as a result of the strike, rail traffic through the station was disrupted. I should note that the Lysky hub is an important element in the logistics system supporting Russian troops. Thus, as a result of the operation, the supply of ammunition and the transfer of Russian Federation Army personnel were disrupted. On Sunday night, Russia launched 60 drones and 1 Iskander-M ballistic missile at Ukrainian territory. According to the Ukrainian Air Force, the defenders of Ukraine's skies neutralized 40 drones in the north and east of our country. The attack was repelled by electronic warfare and drone units, as well as mobile fire groups of the Ukrainian Defense Forces. The Russian army continues to terrorize the residents of Kherson. The city is under constant fire from attack drones, artillery, and guided aerial bombs. Russian FPV drones are deliberately targeting civilian vehicles and pedestrians on the streets. Drones are already being spotted on the Mykolaiv-Kherson highway. In this way, the enemy is trying to cut off evacuation and logistics routes. More details in our next report.
Kherson, another massive drone attack on the Dnipro district.
Are there any wounded? Any wounded?
No wounded. No! Yeah! They've already taken everyone away. They took everyone away. Thank God.
At this time, volunteer Iyer Cherney is rushing to the hospital to evacuate a woman who was wounded.
Stop! 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 You go ahead. I'll throw the things in now. Take the walker over there slowly now.
Irina ended up in the hospital in March this year after a Russian drone attacked her right in the yard of her home in Antonivka. That's a suburb of Kherson, currently one of the most dangerous areas, where the shelling never stops and Russian drones are constantly circling overhead.
They were hunting us. We saw the drone hid under a canopy. There were trees and a big pole there too. We hid under the canopy, but it saw us running there and started searching for us. It was literally hunting us. Couldn't see us above, so it dropped to eye level. It saw we were standing and dropped it right on us. Both my husband and I were hit. My husband was wounded seriously, but my leg was shattered.
The woman has already undergone several surgeries. Even in the hospital, it was hard to feel safe, Irina says.
Twice while I was there.
Twice while I was there, the hospital wall was pierced. And the wall is 60 centimeters thick. The last time I had a nervous breakdown was when the KBs hit, striking a 5-story building next to our hospital. All our windows were blown out. It was just Armageddon. It was so terrifying, just awful. I was just waiting for the moment they would discharge me.
I was just patiently waiting for the precise moment they would finally discharge me from the hospital.
The Russian army is shelling Kherson using aircraft, tube artillery, and rocket artillery. Russian strike drones are constantly hunting civilians.
Drones are sitting on the windowsills, swarming over the houses, waiting near the hospital.
Irina says there are still many civilians left in Antonivka who want to evacuate.
Husband in Antonivka. Mother-in-law can't walk.
Let's get them out.
Is that possible?
Yes, that's possible too.
They're staying because my mother-in-law can only walk about 100 meters. That's it. She can't walk any farther.
We'll pull up, drive in, and pick them up.
There are 4 people there. They'll all come out.
Let's get them out. Because this is life. Well, you only get one life. There are a lot of people in Antonivka right now.
A lot of people in Antonivka? They say 60 people. Around me where I live, there are 6, maybe 10 people.
After being discharged from the hospital, Irina is going to her home village to see her mother. She says it's a long-awaited reunion after several years.
She had a pre-stroke, diabetes, high blood pressure. I said, "Mom, I'll be coming soon." They took off my Lizarov apparatus on Friday. She said, "What? Are you coming with the rings on?" I said, Mom, they'll take them off and then I'll come. I don't tell her exactly when I'm coming. She says, all right, I'll be waiting. And so I came to her with a surprise.
A guest has come running to you.
Summer, home.
Easy, easy. Don't cry. Don't cry. Everything will be all right. Don't cry, sweetheart. Don't cry. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dears.
All right, girls.
Take care of yourselves.
Irina still has to learn to walk again and go through a long rehabilitation after her injuries. But she hopes to spend this period safely with her family. Volunteers continue to help civilians relocate from the most heavily shelled areas of the city. Daria Lidovchenko from Kherson for Freedom TV channel.
The Ukrainian side is actively preparing for the upcoming meeting in the U.S., with intensive coordination underway with partners. The President of Ukraine stated this ahead of his visit to Brussels. Volodymyr Zelensky emphasized that there is a shared understanding of the need for a conversation at the leaders' level. Volodymyr Zelensky stressed that Russia must be made to coexist peacefully with its neighbors for decades to come. Russia rejects numerous demands for a ceasefire and still has not determined when it will stop the killing. This complicates the situation. But together, we are all working for peace and security. Ending the killings is a key element in bringing the war to an end. We welcome the principled statement from our partners in Northern Europe and the Baltic states. We are grateful for the very significant assistance. Unity among all strengthens each of us. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, on Telegram.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.